it's basically just RCX VC versus NK. That's really all
Yeah,
it
yeah,
is.
that's really what this is. It is in fact basically Nitro Knights versus like hybrid RC VC.
So I know USA kind of like to just use their own characters. What about Peru? Are they using the same character?
They use
or...
Pinstripe usually.
Okay.
Plus, we do have
But I
two
think-
POVs of each one, so it's not as big of a
Yeah.
deal anymore. But yeah, we'll see.
Peru is known for using Mafia Pinstripe.
I think
no, Gangster, that's
yeah, I did see a Mafia, or I did see a Pinstripe. I thought Dre was using it, but maybe he's doing that to try to throw them off.
Oh shit.
He probably didn't know.
The mind games.
But yeah.
Yeah,
He's
looks like
using
Dre
the
is using
Outback.
Pinstripe.
Yeah.
God. Imagine trying to sync things. Okay, so I'm gonna just do this like the jankiest way possible. So prepare yourselves.
Oh, this is beautiful.
Yeah. Alright, don't worry about it.
Okay, so I should expect to see a lot of action here. It looks like Megami has got a little bit of a break, so it'll be interesting to see if he can actually front run. I expect him to actually get clear and actually keep that lead. I only really expect anyone to catch him if they do get some of those power items, but it's looking pretty decent for both teams right now. Megami is in first, but Dre is also last, so it'll be interesting to see if Dre can put use to that mask and actually take down some of those Peru players.
He's
I
missed the
bet he's-
Wumpa crates, but he's probably still going to try to punch through them with this temp.
Yeah,
He
if-
went wide here.
If he can use it now and get rid of a lot of players, fire, that could actually be pretty huge for USA.
Yeah, he misses GP Blast, goes right over Asmodeus, but it looks like obviously they got hit anyways, so going to avoid Gren there, and without really hitting anybody with that mask, he is now up into 4th place, tandeming with Gren.
Yeah, it looks like USA does actually have top 4 now, I believe.
Nope, Roka is the box.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so, you know, this is only going to be a little bit confusing. You'll have Roka's the box, and every other Peruvian player's the regular gangster pinstripe. And I
Yeah.
think this is negative pinstripe is what Dre is using.
I just call it Outback, but yeah.
Oh, maybe it actually is the Outback one.
Still looking pretty solid, though. As you can see, Megami is quite a bit ahead of everyone.
Yep.
And it's not looking too good, although Shanks has pulled a Warp Orb, and of course that is just, so it'll be interesting to see when he actually uses that. I'd say pretty much any time would be pretty good right now, considering how far they are behind, but Asmodeus is catching up. He's managed to get himself into 4th, but it looks like the box player did fall behind a bit, so...
Roka
Still looking pretty good
is
for USA.
back there a little bit, and Grenber is actually the Tana that is all the way in the back, tandeming with
Here
them.
comes the orb.
Orb comes through.
Asmodeus does have a blue shield, so he's safe from it.
Nice.
Ooh, it's Modius.
Does
Fortunately,
take out.
Megami isn't able to avoid it. He is quite a bit ahead, and considering it has hit most other players, I think he should be safe. They will be able to get the Sacred Fire back, or not Sacred Fire, but they will be able to get that Turbo Pad, so they might be able to catch up a little bit, but considering how far ahead he is, he's still looking pretty comfortable.
Yeah, and actually, USA is currently top 4. That is Bros, that is in second with the Penta. Then we have Dre and Gren are basically side by side. So that is looking solid for Team USA already, with probably about a 2 to 3 second gap between 4th place and 5th place. But
Yeah, Shanks is holding on to this mask right now. Both Shanks and Asmodeus have mask. So, although I'm not really sure what they're holding on to, Shanks did just use that, but they're gonna have to start rolling some items if they want to try and pick up some loose power items, because they're going into the final lap and they're quite a bit far behind, so they're gonna have to kind of pray at this point.
Yeah, I think they're just
Yeah,
trying
they
to be
need
really careful to not hit each other, but yeah. They definitely need something to make an effect here.
They're coming down to the last, well, instance where anything they can roll will matter, which, by the looks of it, nothing's really coming out, so it's looking like a top 4 for Team USA here.
That appears to be the case. Yeah, they even got some friendly fire here, but it doesn't make a difference except for their own individual points. That is a top 4 for Team USA starting right off the bat.
Yeah, and we talked about wanting a comfortable race, and that's exactly what Team USA got. Especially Megme, like no one even seen him on their screen pretty much the entire time.
Yeah, he was pretty much gone.
That being said, Mr. Caves is pretty much the complete opposite of Assembly Lane. There's turbo pads pretty much throughout the entire track, and power items can easily swing the standings of the track, so I expect this to be much more spread out. The only thing with this is, because of how narrow some of the corridors can be, the person who does end up front running in Mr. Caves can easily back spam, and they can definitely help their team members, so it'll be interesting to see who actually pulls ahead at the start and if they can help the rest of their team. But like I said, I do expect this to be a bit more spread out than what Assembly Lane was.
Alrighty, yeah. I mean, we're gonna go into Mystery Caves next. And again, I haven't seen Peru play this one enough, but I know, like I've said before, that Team USA picks this track a lot, so I kind of expect something good for Team USA here. I have a hard time really thinking it's gonna be favorable for Team Peru on this track. But I mean,
Yeah.
anything can happen. Obviously, I think this track does lend itself though to allowing people to break away at the start, since you have to actually go wide to get the first set of boxes.
Yeah, the thing is, like, Mr. Gibbs isn't that difficult of a track. Like, it's kind of hard to pull away unless you really haven't played the track at all. The thing that can decide who breaks away at the start is actually just cart collision. Especially in the shortcut, if you get screwed over by cart collision in the shortcut, that is what's gonna make you fall behind. So it'll be interesting to see how many players actually do go wide for the power items at the start. Not only USA, but RC in general actually like Mystery Qs quite a lot, and I know Dongitos usually goes wide and tries to get some items, so it'd be interesting to see who actually fills that role for Team USA. I'd expect Megami to once again be the front runner, so it'll be interesting to see which of them actually breaks away for loose boxes at the start.
Yeah, we're just waiting on it to get started. I think honestly it does kind of happen a lot where you get cart collisions at the start of this one, so I mean, I wouldn't be super surprised to see some people basically falling behind and losing fire at the start simply because of cart collision. But obviously we'll have to wait and see. Usually Team USA does have a coordination of who they basically call it out at the start and say, all right, you go wide, you go do that. We're gonna pick out whatever formation we're gonna go with. So usually they may not have a game plan for the whole race, but they will usually kind of like have a game plan for the first corner.
Yeah, although whenever you do break ahead, the only way you're entirely safe is if you do keep rolling blue shields, because I mean, even just one clock can make you fall behind quite a lot. So it's kind of funny. Mr. Cubes, it's a pretty short track, but you do seem to get a lot of blue shields on this whenever you are ahead. So, yeah, we'll see. We've seen it in the last match as well with Finland. Funs just went ahead, and I believe he just kept pulling blue shields. So, we'll see if someone can do that this time around.
Megumi getting a massive moon jump right up the start too, so he gets the nice little slingshot ahead of everybody. Takes out Shanks with that green shield too, okay. Yeah, this is a very good start for Team USA. Doesn't quite get the beaker onto Asmodeus though. And then he gets taken down instead by, I do believe that was Asmodeus. Or Roka, actually, it could have been.
We've seen Dre did actually take that role of going wide at the start, and unfortunately his RNG wasn't too good. He pulled a super engine followed by a turbo can, followed by another turbo can. So unfortunately he didn't really get any good items to help out his team. He has pulled a mask now, but it might be a little too late considering USA is slightly falling behind so far.
You have Gren out in front, followed by 3 members of Peru, though.
Also, if you look at Megumi's stream, they pulled a clock.
Oh, and
Juiced
it's just
up.
So
Yeah.
Andre just pulled the blue shield, so yeah, it instantly disappeared from something. I'm not sure what caused that.
But he did actually take out one of the Peruvian players with that juiced up missile instead. Megumi seems to have fallen off, and I think that was from hitting a beaker, so he did lose a Wumpa, and he still has this clock though. So probably gonna hang on to it, wait for it to get juiced up. Dre has pulled a shield. We can kind of look here. We see second place has Roka does have a shield, and so does Shanks, however. So the clock is ticking to use this clock, and there it goes. They end up using it.
Yeah, unfortunately, probably not the best timing.
Wait. He pulled a second one. He literally pulled a fucking another clock. What the hell? Okay.
Well, if you don't get them all the first time, let's hope you get them all the second time.
What the hell? Okay, so yeah, we can already see that Asmodeus has a blue shield again already. Shanks does not have protection. Going into...
But there's such a big gap between 2 and 3 and then 4 and 5 that I wonder if the clock would make that big of a difference unless it's timed really well.
Yeah, there is a half-decent spot to use this if they want to just go for the amount, or what one that'll like make up the most amount of time. I would go ahead and say probably if they can use it, well, about now would probably be where they would want, because they want the spot where they can't get Sacred Fire back as well, or a slower version of Sacred Fire. In fact, I'm not really sure why Megumi is tailing behind GP Blast here, unless he's really just planning on waiting until the last moment to use this clock just to pull one position on him.
But Blast has got a mask going, and he might be able to chain mask into mask at this rate.
Yeah, Megami lost his fire. Both Chunks and Asmodeus had blue shields, so seems like he is waiting until the very last second to use it.
And he did actually get the hit onto GP Blast. He moves up into 7th place, so I was right. Yeah, he just was using it to gain one position.
1 point, I mean.
Yeah, obviously it's better. I mean, it's better than letting it go to waste and not getting anything. So, probably not the worst play they could have made.
Must have ended up being a pretty close score overall. You guys did get 1st and 4th.
1-4-6-7 for Team USA. It's 10. Well, I'm not gonna do the math in my head. I'm gonna write down the scores like I always do instead.
That's 20-19 if math is right. So +1 for USA.
Okay, so not too bad, especially considering how it started out. But yeah, Dre must have been feeling bad at the start of that. Just going wide and just getting nothing but turbo items.
Yeah.
You hate to see it.
If you're gonna go wide, you at least want a mask or triple missiles. Or bombs, not turbo canister or super engines. Those are just, they just make you feel like garbage because you just wasted your time going wide for
He
nothing
did
that
end
can
up
make impacts.
he did end up taking out one person with the turbo can, but he immediately got missiled, so it was for nothing.
That just reminds me of all the times, I think it was actually during Germany versus Italy, where we would see like somebody pull a super engine and then like squish somebody as they were going to pass them, but then they would get squished the moment afterwards because both people just had super engines and they just squished each other on each other's screens. Looks like there was some position changes there. Again, you are allowed to change the positions of the people in between races, so long as there is no actual substitutes. And we are getting ready to go into Android Alley. Predictions for Android Alley?
USA favored, IMO.
Yeah, I mean, USA seem to be going pretty solid so far. They don't really seem to be making too many mistakes. So, with a track with Android Ally where it's kind of hard to make mistakes on Android Ally, so if they can pull ahead like they have been on some of the tracks so far, yeah, I'd expect USA.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Actually, I will root for whoever gets Speed Ghost lap 1.
The rare Speed Ghost.
I'm gonna have to say neither team will get it lap 1. There's no shiny here, so
True.
unfortunate.
All right.
Drake going wide and slowing down and gets another super engine.
Yeah.
God bless.
Ooh, that little nice spiral tech, I think is what you would kind of refer to. And he gets the takedown GP blast.
Yeah, unfortunately, instantly got
Asmodeus
hit.
gets the revenge on Megumi.
Yeah. Also,
So has anyone actually kept Sacred Fire?
that is a good question. It kind of looks like Dre has. Yeah, Dre has Sacred Fire right now.
Oh yeah.
Other than that, I don't know. It's possible Gren has as well, since he is decent ways ahead of everybody else.
Top 3 at the moment for Team USA going into lap 2 though, with a sizable lead, looking pretty favorable.
Shanks going for the speed go. See, oh my god, that was so close. He almost made it through. Shanks, unfortunately.
Unfunctional.
And Megami could do some pretty nice damage here as well. He does have a just mask, and he's pretty much right behind some Peru players. And if he can take them out right now and get rid of their Sacred Fire, that could put them severely behind.
Ooh, yeah,
Yeah,
there
he's still
goes.
capturing him.
Yeah, there goes Shanks. Shanks gets a nice little speed ghost though from getting hit there, so that's kind of nice, but still definitely losing time here.
And Megami pulls another mask after doing that damage, so yeah, he's looking pretty comfortable.
Yep.
Peru needs a power item to come back into the race. There's just too big of a gap, really.
Yeah, Asmodeus is sitting in fourth, and he does have the blue shield, so if one of his teammates can pull a power item, then he may be able to pull up a few spots. But yeah, it looks like they're just rolling masks at this point, which on this track, masks are actually pretty decent. We do see Shanks takes out Megami again. Actually, he had his own mask, so...
Yeah, no, Megumi
getting it
actually ran into a Nitro that was really blind on one of the corners. And Megumi does take out Asmodeus. Now they're just battling it out back here. He's just sitting back now. He is just gonna combo Asmodeus with these triple missiles, and as soon as he drops into 7th place, pulls a warp orb. Wow.
Yeah, I feel like Megami's just gonna be a nightmare for these Peru players, and USA is so far ahead at this point. I can't see them being caught. So if Megami can just keep everyone else behind, it should be a pretty comfortable win for USA.
Yeah, you can even see with the way he's playing, he does not give a shit about going fast right now. He is just going to make sure people are behind him, and he's going to cause some mayhem for them. And of course, right at the end, he will do his best to just pull ahead and gain extra points.
Yeah, Megami did shoot out that Warp Orb, and Dre does have a blue shield. I'd expect at this point Grenber probably has a blue shield as well.
Yeah.
No, top 2 got hit by the orb, but they were waiting at the Sacred Fire
Okay.
Pad, so...
It's a
And a
clock! What? What is this luck? He is just staying back here in 8th and just grabbing all of the power items.
I feel like they should probably switch up their strats. Have Dre be the front runner at the start, and just let Megami go
Right.
to the 8th spot.
Literally, so they gave me Dre's POV saying, this dude has the most insane item luck, you gotta see this shit, and here we go, we have fucking Megumi pulling, what, 3 clocks already, and like at least 1 warp orb.
Yeah, it looks like Megami probably is going to finish 8th.
Maybe.
Yeah. Oh,
No, he might. He's gonna get the overtake on Asmodeus. Is the time lowered? No, Asmodeus
he
does
lost
get that.
by a frame.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Megami did finish last, but the fact that USA got top 3, that's a pretty big win for them.
That's crazy. All right, so update scores.
Yeah, Peru kind of griefed themselves with those track picks. Though they couldn't dare predict that Megumi would pull 2 clocks on Caves and 1 on Android Alley.
Yeah, it's looking like a pretty big lead so far, considering we're only 3
Three,
races in. But yeah, like I do expect this match to be close, but if this item luck keeps up, then I don't know if there's much that Peru can do.
It's a 31-point difference after 3 races, so it's not looking promising for Peru at this moment. Sorry.
Yeah, and those were 2 of Peru's picks. We're going back into USA's picks. And like I said, Bros did recently get the world record for this. I'm not sure if that will actually matter, to be honest, because the speed boost that Bros does do, you don't really see that until the very end of the lap. So
Yeah, it's literally at the end, isn't it?
Yeah, it's at
Okay.
the very end. So if he doesn't pull away at the start, it's probably not going to matter much. So, and honestly, the first 10 seconds of prehistoric can pretty much decide the majority of the race. Like if you get hit picking up that blue fire pad and you go back to try and pick it up, too many times you'll see players not keep the blue fire whenever they go back to pick it up again. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. I mean, it is definitely one of those things where we don't know for sure if they're actually if Bros is actually gonna go for this speed goes, assuming it's a pulse width, like extension kind of thing.
Yeah, it is, and I mean, over a time trial, it saves. Let's check to see how much it actually saves. Like, obviously there is the 5 laps now, so it would save even more time.
Right. If he hits it on all 4 laps.
Yeah. So. Yeah, it doesn't look like it actually saves that much time. It looks like it saves maybe 1 or 2 seconds at the most.
Yeah,
so
that sounds about right.
don't
Because
think-
yeah, he probably still goes and hits the blue fire pad like right at the beginning. Because
Yeah, he
otherwise it
does,
would be
so-
stupid as hell. So it saves
So,
probably
I
a
doubt
second.
we'll see it.
And we're gonna get a reset here because I think it was GP Blast actually disconnected in the middle or at the very start. Jure has not gotten the memo here. There it goes. But yeah, you guys are right, and this is only 3 races in, and 31-point gap for Team USA. This is turning out to be kind of not what you really want to see. You know what I mean? Like, especially like even Kara said, like, you know, this was 2 of Peru's picks. You wouldn't expect to lose another. What was that? 12 points with those.
Yeah, I mean, so far we've seen the top 4 and the top 3 finish. So, yeah, they're definitely gonna want to try and get something back. If they can get some points back on these USA picks, then it might make them feel a bit more comfortable going back into their own picks. So they may be able to sway it back in their favor, but it will have to start on these USA tracks, I believe.
Though with Prehistoric and Twilight back to back, they're races where a team could just get an explosive lead right at the start. So it could be in Peru's favor.
Yes.
It might not be.
So the thing with these 2 tracks, obviously you do have the fast blue fires. Some items aren't going to really be that much helpful, such as missiles, especially on Twilight Tour. But clocks in particular are pretty huge on this track. So if we keep seeing the same amount of clocks as we have so far, I think this could go anyway.
I'd rather not see any more clocks from Megumi.
It's only
We've seen
3
enough.
races in, and he's already had 3 clocks. I
That's
cannot get
Generally
over
more
that.
clocks than you've seen a set.
Like an
If I was-
entire 20-track set.
If I was Megami at this point, I would just drive up to the first set of boxes and just sit there for the rest of the race.
God. When is Peru hitting the lag nuke button? When they're host. Probably.
Yeah, that is one thing we do have to take into consideration, that this is the USA host, so although you do expect there to be some sort of a favor for USA, 31 points, I don't think it's that much of a difference on switching hosts. So yeah, they'll definitely want to be getting some points back before they go over to the Peru host.
It depends. Normally on Peru host, the game, it is usually a lot laggier for everybody else, but we're all on the same, at least, hemisphere, so it might be a little bit better than what it is. For instance, like, I'll always go back to the Saudi Arabia versus Peru match, which had insanely bad lag no matter who was host.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't really had any disconnect so far, so fingers crossed. They seem to be going pretty smoothly.
Weird.
Just this
Yeah.
one hiccup with Blast, but
Yeah, we're going
What
into
it
a
is.
loading screen now. Screen? Yeah, screen. For prehistoric.
hopefully it actually works this time.
It'll actually be interesting to see, as we mentioned, if you get hit whenever you're going over the blue fire pad, like that can set you back quite a bit. So I'll be interested to see how many players actually slow down on purpose at the start, just to make sure they do get that guaranteed blue fire pad. I expect to see at least a couple of them do.
All right, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Dre going for something like that. We do see him go wide. He's not in last at the moment, but takes down Asmodeus right off of the blue fire pad. So see a little bit of action right there at the start. You know that this
Yeah,
is a track that Dre actually enjoys playing a lot.
We do see Megami actually taken out Peru player. So top 2 so far. Megami does lose his blue fire, and it looks like both Shanks and Asmodeus have their blue fire, so they may actually be able to pick up a few spots. And Dre just fell, so that's gonna set him back quite a bit.
I like the part where Asmodeus actually almost fell into the shortcut because he collisioned off of Dre. It was almost kind of disastrous for him, but yeah, now we see Grenber is the one out in front still. Decent lead over Shanks, then Megumi is in third, followed by Asmodeus.
Yeah, much more spread out this time compared to the other tracks, so it'll be interesting to see how it develops. As long as Grenber can kind of keep that lead, then it'll be pretty comfortable for US at least. They wouldn't lose too much points.
And
They
we
can
see
keep that lead.
another clock, by the
Oh.
way. Team USA with this clock luck. What is this? It's not Megumi this time, but
May as
wow.
well be.
Yeah, that is nuts. And we actually really don't see anybody being protected either, so there is a possibility that it gets used soon. It looks like Gren actually was protected, but he seems to have broken that shield. Just looking at the mini-map, he got hit, but he did not slow down, so that's my guess. The question is, when is this clock going to be used? I think it would probably be smart, obviously, for them to maybe wait until lap 5 to use it, until, you know, after the blue fire pad. But at the same time, it does suck to hold on to a clock for like 3 laps, you know what I mean?
It's one of those ones you kind of just gotta do it for the team. They are sitting in first and third at the moment, so I feel like it would probably be best just to kind of see what happens. I mean, Megami did just pull a blue shield, so if Grenber can also get a blue shield, then I would say that's the perfect time to use it. Yeah, we'll see if that can happen.
Yeah, because another thing to mention is just the fact that if you wait way too long to use your clock, you know, that's when your opponents start getting shields. Yeah, you can't wait too long, otherwise, next thing you know, your clock's not going to hit anybody. Because you gave them all chances to get protection.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird to say, but it's also fine just not using it. Like we said, if Grenber can keep that first place and Megme keep the third place, like that's pretty much already a win for them. So, Andre
Doesn't even matter.
Red Beaker.
Yeah.
So I was gonna say if he could just keep it for himself, maybe get a spot or two at the end. But I mean that's not even gonna be a chance now.
Yeah. So now he's just gonna have infinite reserves. So I mean that's nice at the very least, but I'm not sure if he's gonna be able to make up
With
that
these
spot.
positions, if they stay as they are, it's a 1-point win for Team USA again.
Yeah, and you can't really complain too much if you're Team USA getting a 1-point win whenever you're so far ahead already. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't really complain.
Yeah, as long as you're not losing points, you can't really complain at that point. Unfortunately, that red beaker really hurt Dre right there. He was not able to catch back up.
Yeah. So, although he ended up losing that clock, it probably was the correct decision to just hold on to it. Unless Grenber actually had a shield as well. I feel like holding on to it.
Gren was back spamming, trying to hit
Okay.
Shanks, so
Yeah, that makes
it would
sense.
have. Yeah. If he timed it wrongly and Shanks pulled a shield at like that last second he used the clock, it would have fucked over Gren, which they didn't want, so holding it is definitely the better play there. But for Team USA, as long as they can maintain these small wins and not have a huge loss, then they're in a very comfortable position.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the result that Peru is looking for. Obviously, they want to try and catch up, but it's better than what they've had so far, only losing by 1 point, and it is on a USA track. If they can actually start to improve on that now, then we may start to see a comeback. And Twilight Tour is another track which, once again, is pretty similar to Prehistoric. I do expect to see the positions spread out a bit, like we did on Prehistoric. So if Twilight or if Peru can maybe be on the opposite end this time, maybe try and get the front runner that is back spamming, they might be able to pull a few points. So we'll see if any of them can break ahead at the start.
We going into the loading screen, preparing. Yeah, I don't know what to expect from this track either. I know, I want to say it's Gren. I want to say Gren is the one that's obsessed with this track.
Yes, it's Gren.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, and as you can see, Gren in the last 3 races has
He's
finished
popping
first.
the fuck off.
So, yeah, if they can maybe target Gren and make him fall a bit behind, then that might be a good tactic to go with. And usually we see Asmodeus actually be the front runner for Peru and kind of carry them in terms of points, but so far it hasn't really been working out for him, so we'll see if that changes. But yeah, if they could target Gren, that would be a good start.
Okay, we actually see Dre going wide here at the start.
When we see anyone go for Ramu Tech,
Wait, what was Ramu Tech?
going backwards for Wumpa and item crate.
Hey,
Oh, and that is a huge start for Peru. Asmodeus taking out a few players. Not sure if he took out some of his own players there, but Asmodeus, if he can actually front run, as I was just saying, if he can start to back spam, take out some of those US players, it'd be pretty good. He does lose the blue fire there, but it might not matter too much if he can get this.
He's sitting right behind Bros though, and he gets
Okay.
taken out by Megumi.
Yeah, that's pretty unfortunate. Losing the blue fire kind of cost them that lead, and the first and second spot for USA now. They can do exactly what we're talking about. If they start to back spam and get Ruka, then it might look pretty bad for Peru.
Although there's a sizable gap between 7 and 8 and everyone else, so
Yeah,
there
that's the
needs to be a
thing.
power item or just a double back spam to get more positions for USA.
Yeah, that's the thing with this track. Considering you do have the STP, you can't really say who is going to end up winning until like the very last lap, because it's so easy to actually fall behind. If you lose that STP at the start of the lap, you're just gonna get instantly caught up by the back of the pack. So I wouldn't be too worried if I was Peru at this time. Just try and keep the fire, try and pull some items. Asmodeus does have the blue shield, and he has a mask if he does lose that as well. So the only thing is, Dre is in 8th right now, and he can maybe try and just stay there, to be honest. Try get some loose power items and deny Peru. And they haven't pulled any power items so far. We are in the 3rd going into the 4th lap, and they do still have top 2 so far. And yeah, they just don't seem to be pulling anything. Shanks has pulled a turbo engine followed by a turbo can. So
looks like Roka
they're-
actually lost fire as well, though, and that GP Blast disconnects as well, and I'm not sure where he was positioned.
He's the pinstripe that's just sitting there. I think it was in 3rd or 5th.
Yeah, so
There's
that's
2 pinstripes, so I couldn't
kind of
see exactly.
unfortunate for them now as well. have to see here, but I don't know. It kind of looks like Peru losing even more spots here.
Yeah, USA does have top 2. I think they are also 6th and 7th.
Yeah. So they're comfortable.
Yep.
Yeah, Shanks and Asmodeus do have blue shields. So if they were to get a power item, it might help, but we're already on the last lap, so yeah.
Gren shoots out the warp orb. Don't know if we'll stay in position changes from this, but
Roka didn't get
No.
hit. No, nobody's
one got
nobody's
hit.
even getting hit by this thing. It was unjuiced.
no, it's juiced, I think.
No, it wasn't. It didn't even target. It didn't even target Dre.
Pretty sure Dre
Yeah.
dodged though. Because I saw it target Roka then Shanks.
Oh wait, maybe it did. I guess, but it did nothing.
It didn't
basically.
matter, everyone dodged, so yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it was a pretty comfortable win whenever Megami had time to turn around and do a little nitro explosion winning animation. But unfortunately, Gran won't keep his streak of first place finishes, but at least it did still go to USA.
Not all of us can be Upper West, unfortunately.
So that was the final track of
The
of
first
the
quarter,
first
yeah.
5. So I do expect to see some changes from perhaps Peru. It wasn't really going in their favor. Although, of course, the host change could affect how they're playing, but yeah, it just doesn't seem to be going their way, or whether it's just either how they're playing or maybe just the items. But yeah, who is the sub for Peru?
There's so many players on their team, it's hard to say.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of Peruvian players, but they don't tend to actually sub that often, just because this is by far their strongest lineup.
Yeah, and we see Peru hasn't had a single first place finish so far. Asmodeus did have a chance at the start of this race. He was pulling ahead, but I think he may have been looking behind to see where everyone else was, and then he ended up bumping into a wall.
Hey.
So
He got hit by Megumi's mask at the end of lap 1, so there was nothing you could really do there.
well, it was even before that. So
Before
even
that, yeah.
yeah, like whenever you do the right before the shortcut, he bumped into the wall and lost his slower blue fire, and that's whenever he started to get hit.
Yeah, Braz overtook him and then Megumi ran up
Yeah.
on him with a mask, yeah. Though I would have assumed that even if he didn't tap the wall, Megumi's mask would have caught up and ended his career.
True.
But hard to say.
And they're all still in the lobby, and a bunch of them are readying up. So it kind of looks like they're not even going to switch hosts. Yeah, they're just waiting on Megumi to start it up. That's kind of
Yeah, I mean-
surprising. I did expect to see a host change.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't really seen anything go badly in terms of any sort of desync hits or lag or anything. Even from both perspectives, compared to some of the other races we've seen, it didn't seem to go too bad at all. So maybe they're fine with just playing how it is.
It's true. Don't really know what to expect to see from this race coming up, honestly. Obviously it's Peru's pick, but yeah, I'm not sure what to expect.
Yeah, Tiger Temple is it's a good track if you do pull away at the start. The only thing that will really hurt you is power items, because whenever you pull away at the start, although you don't have blue fire to escape missiles or anything like that, there seems to be quite a big difference between like first and second place quite often. So we'll see if someone can get a pretty good lead like that.
Like nobody actually went for the pulse wood at the start. So one thing to mention though is you mentioned the reason you mentioned that people kind of get ahead and stay ahead in this track, and one of the big reasons for that is that this is a track that is very strong for front runners. The straightaways are very narrow, and you have very limited options of where you can go, especially since the fire. So if you can get ahead, all you need to do is maybe place one item, and if the timing is right, then they can't dodge anything.
Yeah, I think what it is as well is because reserves can be pretty tight on this track, especially if you're doing the fast grass. A lot of players do tend to run out of fire. So, especially with all the items that are happening, if you can break away at the start, you pretty much don't have to worry about any of those items going out. You can keep fire while everyone else continuously loses fire. So we see Shanks and Asmodeus are first and second right now, and they both have blue shields. So I would expect them to pretty much keep these positions throughout the rest of the race.
Yeah, me too. I would not expect them to lose their positions unless they just make their own mistakes. You see Bros is the one that is currently in third, followed by Grenber. Yeah, I just see a bunch of blue shields, really.
Yeah, and both Shanks and Asmodeus are pulling off the fast grass pretty well. So as long as they can keep fire, then they'll be fine. I'll be interested to see if maybe Asmodeus gets rid of his blue shield on the final lap to maybe back bomb with those bombs. It would be a bit risky, and especially considering how far they've fallen behind so far, it might be worth actually risking it. Considering if Asmodeus does use that bomb on like one of these straight tunnels, he may be able to actually hit Bros with it if he gets lucky, but yeah, it doesn't look like he's gonna risk it.
Okay, that worked out. So they did end up comboing Roka there, and by they I mean it was Grenber, I believe, and Megumi. Actually, did that work out in their favor? No, that was Dre.
Slowing down.
This will be hard. Is that gonna land? Black Zero does get across the line first there. So we did actually see a sub. I didn't even see when Black Zero got subbed in. I'm gonna be real.
I didn't either, but that's a good win for Peru there.
Yeah, that's definitely what Peru wants.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's the best result they've had so far. Like we said previously, they hadn't had a single first place finish, so getting a top 2 finish, it might give them some confidence, especially maybe Asmodeus, who, like I said, usually does front run for Peru and usually does finish first in overall points. Maybe that will give him some of the confidence he needs, and we might see more first place finishes coming out from him. And of course, we do still have another Peru track coming after this, which is Engine. And I believe Asmodeus is actually pretty strong on this as well.
It's a Team USA pick, though. That's
Engine?
also... Yeah. Labs, yeah. Team USA, well, it's favored for them because they would have picked it if Peru didn't, is what I meant, sorry. But Peru managed to make up 9 points that race. Looking good so far for them, but they need more.
Yeah, if they can maybe try and get the points back to like a sub 30 deficit after the first half, then they might have a decent chance. Especially going into the second half, we are starting off with Crash Co. So with how crazy those items can be, like we've seen it happen before where some of the teams end up getting a top 4 from that. So we'll see.
Okay, that should be correct, what you see on the screen.
Yeah.
We're going into the loading screen now for Engine Labs.
Yeah, I feel like Engine Labs is a pretty good map in terms of being able to combo some items. Like, there's a lot of nasty places you can leave, either nitros or beakers, and if you can kind of combo them as a team, then you can definitely get a few top spots from it. So, honestly, I would imagine if a team did do it, it would probably USA. But we'll see if Peru can take advantage of it.
Yeah, this is kind of a front runner favored trek as well, just because there's a lot of blind corners and it's very hard to make up time to catch up if you do get behind. Let's see here. Ooh, Megumi goes a little bit too wide, tags the wall, and loses the fast blue fire there.
And both Asmodeus and Dre went wide. They both got super engines, so no masks from what I can see so far.
We did get the back
for...
bomb. Oh yeah, Team USA did get the top 4 right now. Yeah, as we saw, Asmodeus went to go for a pass on Megumi, and Megumi just like point blank bombed him.
We didn't see a USA player change, did we? It was just
nope. Just Black
just
Zero replacing GP Blast. Is the only change
Dre
we saw.
simply changed to Dre changed to Isabel rather than Foons.
Pinstripe. Yeah.
Foons.
Foons, yeah. We see a bunch of blue shields here. Megumi is trying to grab more Wumpa to get his blue shield as well.
Yeah, both Dre and Megumi have it. Shanks is holding on to one right now. I guess he doesn't really want to hit Asmodeus, so we're not really seeing any power items so far. Does look like, yeah, Peru does have bottom 2 right now, but we can't actually see which items they have.
So we probably aren't really going to see many position changes in general. It's possible that maybe Shanks can pull up on Megumi. He's not too far away. We actually see the Warp Orb come out, and I don't know if that was a miscommunication or what, because Shanks had a shield and didn't use it. That
was a huge misplay.
Yeah.
When Shanks almost jumped off.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that is not good for Team Peru. That I feel like they had a chance to make something happen with that Warp Orb, and they just miscommunicated or something.
Yeah, it looks like Megami may be able to do some damage. He did pick up a bomb. I'm not sure if it ended up colliding with anyone. But going into the 5th lap, at this point they would need like some sort of combo of like a clock and something else, but at best it might get them like 3rd or 4th.
By the looks of it, I think, unless there's a power item, these positions for the top 4 are set in stone.
Yeah,
unless
and
a pack spam happens, which hits Shanks, but...
Yeah, at this point as well, Dre is just gonna kind of sit back, and he's purposely went to the last spot just so he can get those power items.
Warp Orb comes out. I think that was from Team Peru?
Yeah. Yeah, and you can see Dre has this Aku mask, so he's just trying to do some damage.
He actually falls off and going a little bit too tight though. Oof. Is he actually gonna... The real question is he going to finish 7th still? Yeah, he's going to take down Asmodeus. So, yeah, this is definitely going to be... Yeah, pulls in the 7th place here.
Yeah, top 3 along with 7th. Once again, just another huge win for USA.
Yeah. Unfortunately for Team Peru, Team USA is just gonna continue pulling further ahead.
13-point gain there for USA, so just offsets Peru's Tiger Temple victory.
Yeah, like I said, it was pretty much just a front runner track. They pulled ahead and they didn't even need to really use any items because like for a long time Megami was sitting in fourth and he had a blue shield, so he wasn't even back spamming, but Peru just couldn't really catch up. So this should be a pretty interesting one. So basically time trial time, because Turbo Track, obviously missiles don't really do anything. Power items, it's such a short track that power items don't really get seen too often. The most damage will probably come from the likes of maybe like a nitro or something like that. I don't really expect to see too much damage from items. Should be pretty much whoever pulls away at the start. And considering how they've played so far, the USA have just been playing so solid. I'd expect them to pull away at the start and just keep those spots.
Yeah, Turbo Track's not a good item for maps. They don't have too much of an impact other than just Bakers and Nitros. Power items you rarely see in orbs just like to circle the map since they won't target you if you're on the grass.
Yeah, like on Turbo Track, you pretty much just want to pull a super engine and just like really drive around the track.
Yeah, Super Engine is really a valued item on this track. Yeah, just for that. Not having to worry about reserves makes this track a hell of a lot better.
And we see 43-point lead so far, and we're not even halfway. I was honestly, like I said earlier, I was expecting this to be a very close match, especially considering how close of a match Peru versus Saudi Arabia was. But a 43-point lead so far, and we're not even halfway. It's not looking good, to be honest. It's looking like it's going to be more of a Finland versus Italy match.
Yeah, I'm very surprised to see how kind of one-sided this match is going at the moment, honestly. I mean, it's basically just how you said it, you know, coming from the Peru versus Saudi match, you kind of would expect this to be a lot closer, or maybe even favored for Team Peru, but I mean, we're not even halfway through. Anything can happen. You know, there's still a lot of time to turn it around. And USA undoubtedly has been very lucky with the item pulls here as well, so...
Yeah, Shanks did get squished at the start, I believe, but he does have a super engine now, and he's just gonna be big chilling, hopefully get some power items. He has fired off some missiles, but I don't think they're gonna reach. Yeah, it didn't really do anything. And he actually got squished again, so that's his reserves going.
We actually do see Peru up in the top spot at the moment. Can't tell who it is, but then we have followed up immediately by 3 USA players, and they take out the first place Peruvian player, and now they're down into 3rd place. And that's actually Black Zero. That was the one that was up in first. Jury is currently battling it out with him.
We're actually seeing more damage from items than what we were expecting. A lot of the damage is coming from the super engine so far.
Yeah, surprisingly enough.
Megami does get taken out, and USA looks to be kind of keeping those top 3 spots right now. Shanks is in 4th, and he's back spamming because, well, can't really do anything with shooting stuff forward, so he does end up going to 3rd. I'm not sure what happened to Bruce.
Granber went wide, I believe, to either get more reserves or try and let an overpass to squash or hit Shanks.
So Dre's stream like bugged out for me for a second, and it froze on him having a clock while it was rolling, and I thought he pulled a clock again, and he was in 2nd place. So I was like, wait, what the fuck? But then it then it unfroze for me and he got a shield. I was about to lose my goddamn mind since it's literally not even possible for him to pull a clock.
Yeah, I mean, Megami is in the last spot right now, so you never know, but we are in the final lap. Looks like USA will get top 3. And once again, huge win for them.
Yeah, USA pulling further ahead here. Things are starting to look kind of bleak for Team Peru.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see if we'll see another change after the first half, but the first change hasn't really seemed to make much of a difference so far. So I wonder if it's... I feel like it's more so just maybe a team communication effort that they need to pull it at this point. Maybe try and make some plays, because they haven't really seemed to make anything else work.
Yeah. Peru really needs to get their head in the game before they're locked out at this rate. But hopefully going into the second half they can get their act together and start producing some wins under their belts to narrow the gap, because it's a 54-point gap at the moment, if I'm right.
Yeah, I can't even think, has Peru pulled a single clock so far? I think they've got some warp orbs, but I haven't seen any clocks.
I'm not sure actually. I don't think they have. No. They've pulled like probably 2 or 3 warp orbs, but yeah, I don't think they've pulled a single clock.
Yeah, and I wonder if USA have actually kind of kept that in mind, because we have seen quite a lot of top 3 finishes from USA so far, and quite often whenever they do have a member in maybe 6th or 7th, they'll actually just drop back to that last spot and maybe try and prevent those power items. So I'm not sure if that's what they're intentionally trying to do, just make sure they don't get those items. So they're kind of just happy with just dropping back and securing those top 3 spots. And to be honest, it's definitely the correct play, just cause some chaos in those back spots. And Peru hasn't really had that chance so far. They haven't really had that solid lead. The only track we've seen so far where they have had that was Tiger Temple. They had those top 2 spots, but yeah, Tiger Temple, you have those top 2 players and the rest of it is chaos, so they couldn't really have that chance where they'd have one player drop back and cause chaos. So it's a pretty solid strat that USA has been able to pull off so far. So we'll see if Peru can maybe replicate that, but in order to actually do that, they actually do need to pull away at the start, which they haven't really had too much success with so far.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier that you feel it's possible that a lot of the issues that Team Peru is having is possibly from communication. And I definitely think that is a possibility here. I mean, realistically, we mentioned it even in that a couple races ago where you had one of the Peruvian players had a shield and just didn't use it when their teammate used a warp orb. So maybe that's what they need to fix.
Megami just kind of, I'm not sure what happened, but he kind of just like stopped playing for a second. So he is in last spot right now, so we may see some power items from him. Asmodeus has actually got a bit of a lead so far.
Megumi misses the boxes and had to loop around. He only got he got a mask out of it, but I don't know if that's really what you want. And Shanks actually missed the shortcut as well.
Yeah, and that lead we seen from Peru at the start didn't last too long, because USA is currently sitting top 2.
Megumi now has maybe not infinite reserves, but he has a decent amount now. He got to use the tail end of that super engine. Ooh, that dodge. Wow. Okay. We also see a bunch of blue shields from position 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see Granber with the blue shield as well. Obviously, he's not gonna be back spamming with Dre being in second, so maybe he's just holding on to some items that he doesn't want to use.
I don't know if this Warp Orb is going to hit anybody.
Dre
Actually,
did
looks like
just actually
Roka.
lose his shield. Yeah, so it should hit Dre as well. He's actually just going to jump off.
Yeah, it hit Dre, and it actually hit Grenber as well. So actually it did a lot more damage than I would have expected.
Oh, and Asmodeus gets hit by the Nitro right before the shortcut.
And he jumps over the blue fire pad.
Oh, you hate to see it. At least Shanks has actually got himself into second spot right now. He also does have a blue shield, so if he can keep this up, it might not be such a bad spot for Peru, but they definitely need some of their other players to pull up some of these spots. So far, we're seeing both first, third, and fourth from USA, so still going to be a pretty big win for them if nothing changes. Yeah. We still haven't really seen a clock from Team Peru at this point, so
Yeah.
we did see that Warp Orb, but once again, the Warp Orb didn't really change too much, so it'll be interesting to see how hard they're actually trying to reroll these items. Asmodeus actually loses Blue Fire from getting hit, and that's actually going to cost him a few spaces, I would assume.
The real question is something going to happen with Megumi being able to possibly to overtake Shanks here at the end? But it does not look like it now.
Yeah,
we do
he's
see
too
a
far
Warp
ahead.
Orb came out here at the very end. Will it make a difference? It does not look like it.
It looks like Ruka does actually take over Dre, so that is at least one spot. Yeah, Dre is just getting completely passed up right now. So it looks like Peru did recover some positions, but considering
That's-
Team USA got first and third, might not matter
That's
too much.
yeah, that's a 1-point win for Team USA there. So a small win, but a win nonetheless.
And we've seen this happen so many of these races so far, where USA just secure that first and third spot, and they just end up getting that 1-point win, and they could just do this the rest of the war. I mean, they're already 54 points ahead. If they just keep getting 1-point wins, then obviously Peru are never going to catch up. But the final track to finish off this first half is Sewer Speedway, and Sewer Speedway, it's once again it is a good track to front run because there's so many tight turns. You can leave items in pretty nasty spots, but because it is only a sacred fire track, it is also pretty easy to catch up if you do end up getting a clock or warp orb. Especially if you time it right and make sure that the other team doesn't get the shortcut, that can cost a lot of time. So we'll see if some of the players can maybe pull out some smart plays and actually make that happen. But I know USA is pretty good at Sewer Speedway, even though it is a Peru pick. So we'll see. It seems like all of these picks that Peru have chose so far, I believe you said this earlier as well, Faye. Like, it's so much in favor of USA. Like, all of these tracks, the USA players are just good at all of them.
Even the second half track picks from Team Peru are pretty favorable towards Team USA. Although the short tracks could go either or because that's just the nature of them. But that's yeah.
I mean, I think the big thing is, when I've been watching the Peruvian matches, none of the tracks really stand out as something that I think of like, oh wow, those are tracks that I know Peru is really good at, for instance. You know what I mean? Whereas a lot of the tracks I can recognize and say, okay, USA picks these every single time. You know, like Prehistoric Playground, no brainer. They pick this like every single time. DTD, obviously Peru banned that one, but they pick that like every single time. You know, so there's tracks that, in my eyes, are pretty much always picked by Team USA, and they're I don't want to say iconic or whatever, but they're tracks that are very obviously strong for them. But I don't really feel any tracks where it's like Peru has a strong advantage in general.
Yeah, the one thing I noticed is I do believe Peru is pretty decent at Hotter Skyway, but obviously that did get banned out by USA.
Right. I can't believe that I've ever seen anybody go the lower section purposely.
It is something RC does quite a bit. Dongitos does it, and Megami taking it this time. It's not a bad strat because there's not many people who do go there, so it kind of gives you a free pass to the shortcut. So as you see, they ended up working out for Megami. He is in second spot right now. He does have a missile, and it looks like he might actually be able to catch Ruka with it.
He's gonna probably need to get some Wumpa for a juiced up missile, but he may be able to make something happen with this missile. There's a couple long straightaways where this missile can land.
Yeah,
oh, like actually,
Ruka
never mind. Roka missed this shortcut. Wow. Okay.
Oh. Yeah, you hate to see it. So, yeah, I was saying if we would see maybe some item plays to make that happen, but Ruka just straight up missing it. Definitely hate to see it. Megami did end up getting a blue shield, so like I said, this is a good track to front run, and if he can just keep this blue shield, he should be able to get a pretty comfortable win. But we are only on our third lap, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, Megumi used to have world record on this track. I don't know if he still does, but this is definitely a track that I recognize and say that this is one of the stronger ones.
So many people from Team Peru failing the shortcut this race.
Yeah, top 3 so far for USA, and if they can keep this up, it's just going to be a nightmare for Peru to try and keep up. If Drake can just keep back spamming, then they don't really have a chance, especially both Megami and Bros has blue shields. So even if they do pull out a clock at this point, we're already on the 4th lap, so a clock and a warp orb isn't really going to do anything.
Yeah, unfortunately for Team Peru, this is already looking not great for them already on Super Speedway. At the very least, even if they did pull a power item, actually, Dre did lose fire there. So this does actually kind of open up an opportunity maybe for the gap to close between 3rd and this pack of people in 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Yeah,
maybe
Shanks
not.
Is kind of catching up, but he only has a blue shield, so he can't really do much damage with that. And Dre has already got his fire back, so
he
should be
went
pretty
wide and
comfortable.
hit the invisible wall there on the half pipe, so we'll see.
Yeah. Fortunately, there's another sacred pad up here, so
yeah, I don't think that, yeah, even as many times as Dre loses fire, I don't think it mattered. That's yeah, no, doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's another top 3 finish, and we've said it so many times. The USA have just got so many top 3 finishes. That is what has got them their lead so far, and I'm sure Grenberg was pretty much just chilling once again in last spot, just kind of securing those, I guess. Well, we didn't really see any power items on this track, but Grenberg, I guess Asmodeus. Yeah. Okay, yeah, he finished
Hang on.
much higher. It just didn't show.
Give me a sec. I posted that one so I can double check which people who got where.
Asmodeus got 5th.
No, Asmodeus got 6th.
6th. Oh yeah, 6th. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's on
so-
his screen. Fucking Dre got string glitched. Lovely.
Yep. And so I will just go off of Dre's and then make Asmodeus 6th there. Okay.
Agreed. 66 points going into halftime. Not good for Peru's morale.
Yeah, and considering how the item RNG is so far, if I was Peru, I would not be looking forward to Crash Cove.
I wouldn't be looking forward to most of these tracks in the second half, to be honest. The first 8 of them are very very impactful with items.
Yeah,
Okay.
and honestly, it's just such a bad time for Peru because, like, sure, USA has been getting pretty lucky with some of their items, but they've been playing so well, so you can't really discredit them either because they have been playing so well. And yeah, it's been shown there's so many top 3 finishes, and they have been having that player fall back to the last spot just to mess with Peru. So, although they have been lucky, you still gotta give them the credit for playing so well.
Yeah, that's definitely true. I mean, again, we can mention the item luck they had all we want, but they haven't even really been making major mistakes at the very least as well. I mean,
Yeah.
they had a lot of really good item luck here in the beginning, but in the last few races, it hasn't really been that special.
Yeah, we haven't really seen too many power items. Whenever USA does pull ahead, they kind of keep those spots. And we have seen Peru pull ahead a few times now, but yeah, they pretty much just end up losing their spots either from getting hit by items by a close player, but yeah, they just haven't really seemed to successfully front run.
Yeah, I think it's just the case where they just have a lot of really strong front runners on Team USA. Honestly, I'm surprised to see how well it's been working out for Team USA in general, because I know a lot of their players in general, like on this lineup, aside from Trey, I typically think of all the other 3 players being, you know, more of a front runner style, and Megumi more so can switch between being a front runner and you know, good with items, but when you think of Megumi, normally you think of a front runner.
Yeah, for sure. And all 3 Brews, Grinber, and Megumi have pretty much been doing that so far. We see multiple first place finishes from each of them so far, and especially Grinber. I mean, 4 first place finishes and even a second place finish. Brews has ended up creeping up into first place, but that's just been from pure consistency on his end.
Yeah, I was gonna say, actually, I was paying attention to the scores early on when we had Gren get 3 first places in a row, but I didn't realize Bros had snuck up there and actually is the current point leader for Team USA.
Yeah, there's been a few races where Grenber has kind of fallen back and just played that last spot chaos control, and I haven't really seen Bros do that so far. He has been pretty much been finishing in top 4 for the most part. We obviously do see a 6th spot in there a few times, but for the most part, Bros has been finishing top 4, which is why we see him currently number 1.
Yeah.
Bro's rocking a nice score though.
Of course.
I had to point it out. I'm sorry.
I mean, I saw it and I was thinking the same thing. I just didn't say it.
Still, someone
Yeah.
has to, and I'll take that.
If I'm not mistaken, in the Italy versus Finland match, like, we kind of did see the same thing where Italy did get a pretty big lead in the first half, and they kind of just stayed that way throughout the second half. They didn't increase it too much in the second half, so it'll be interesting to see if the same thing happens. Or maybe USA will just keep increasing that lead, or hopefully we do see some sort of a fight back from Peru. It'll be fun to see it be a bit more interesting, a bit closer. But yeah, we'll have to see if they end up changing anything up in the second half.
Yeah, you don't really want to see it be this much of a stomp. I mean, I would prefer not to see a 100+ point lead for Team USA.
Honestly, we do have a few interesting tracks coming up in the second half. Obviously, Crash Cove can go anyway. Clockwork, I always feel Clockwork is a very fun track to watch whenever it comes to items because anything can go. And for some reason, you do actually see quite a lot of power items in Clockwork as well. I don't know if maybe it is because it is a slightly longer track, but yeah, you end up seeing quite a lot of power items, particularly clocks. I guess it is in the name, but it'll be interesting to see Clockwork, and of course Gingerbread, also another kind of long track. So it'll be interesting to see how some of those go.
Oh, yep, we're getting started. Well, not getting started. We're going into the loading screen for Crash Cove now. So I'm gonna tab over and drop a Twitter link into a channel, and then get ready to get started on the next race even.
Crash Cove. Hell yeah. This is gonna be fun.
We're gonna see any masks out of the first box.
Probably at least one.
Nah, just a lot of super engines. That's what we'll see.
Honestly, we have been seeing that quite a lot so far today, like particularly 7th spot and last spot. We've been seeing a lot of super engines comboed by turbo cans straight after, so we'll see if that continues.
Trey pulls a super engine, I called it. Nice.
Will we see the turbo cans straight after?
Lots of boost items right now.
Yeah, Dre does have that Aku Aku mask, of course, so we'll see if he can do some damage. It is a top. Actually, who's playing Crash?
I believe that's one of the Peru players, yeah.
Yeah. So this is a top 3 spot for them so far. Dre is still holding on to that mask.
Finally uses it.
He finally used it.
Okay, GP Blast is back in. Roka is the Crash.
Okay. Oh, we do see a double hit from Dre, so that actually might switch up the spots quite a bit.
Wow, okay. Yeah, I was not expecting to see that double hit there.
Yeah,
and he's going to possibly take down Roka here with this blue shield. I'm surprised he doesn't go for the shot instead, because he's going to try to go for a tackle. And never mind, he blocks the TNT with it instead.
Okay. Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't shoot that. He was close enough.
They just hit each other instead.
Oh, that's unfortunate for Dre. Ends up rolling out into the sea.
See, Bros is currently out in front here.
Yeah, Team USA is in first, third, and also fourth now. Obviously Shanks is still in second. I expect him to start back spamming just to try and get some spots back. But Asmodeus, I wonder if he can maybe cause some damage in this final lap. He did have a mask followed by another one, but if he does use it, he's ended up gonna. Okay, he did manage to avoid the other Peru player, but yeah, I don't think he's gonna cause too much damage at this point.
You see, Bro is actually getting another first place finish.
Yeah, big win there for Team USA.
Yeah, top 4, like I said, or it's not top 4, top 3. So, yeah. Crash Cove is just one of those ones where you can just combo items so many times and just completely destroy a team. So it's not that you'd expect with it being such a short track, you'd expect players to be all over the place, but for some reason you end up just seeing so many like top 3 or top 4 finishes for a particular team. And yeah, so far it looks like USA is not going to hold back. Another top 3 finishes, gonna continue their lead. I wonder if we'll actually end up seeing a triple-digit lead, which would be pretty insane. Have we actually seen that so far throughout the tournament?
No, we've
I
never
don't
seen.
believe so. No.
Yeah, we have not seen a triple-digit difference so far.
And actually, it wasn't a. It's not a top 3 technically
It was
for
1,
Team
3,
USA.
4, 5.
Yeah, they went 1, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, yeah. Keep forgetting Shanks is also playing Penguin.
Yeah, it's not fun trying to differentiate between players when they just pick whatever. But it is what it is, as they say. So there we go. I think I've got the scores right this time. Just in time
Yeah,
for
that
us
looks right.
going into Barren Ruins. Loading screen.
The one thing I enjoy about Barren Ruins is watching to see if players will take the risk with the shortcut, because you always know there's going to be an item there unless you have a teammate take it for you and clear it. But you always see that kind of hesitation in the players, like, do I take the shortcut, do I not? But I think at this point Peru, they can't really play safe. They kind of just got to go all out. I mean, being 77 points behind and halfway through, they kind of gotta go for those first place spots.
Alright, so that's okay, this is Asmodeus with the box now.
Trey just not having a good time.
No, he and Megumi are both chilling back here in 7th and 8th, actually. It appears that both Shanks and Asmodeus were so close to each other that neither of them wanted to backspam the shortcut.
I think, is this currently a top 3 spot for Peru?
Yeah, that's top 3 for Peru at the moment.
It'll be interesting to see if the Bros can do any damage. Both Megami and Dre have masks, so that will help them catch up quite a bit. They are beside each other, so they should be able to use it at the same time to avoid hitting each other. But I guess they might hold on to it just to see if they can do some damage. But top 3 are actually quite a bit ahead of everyone else, so they won't be getting hit.
Asmodeus, decent amount ahead already. Kind of. I mean, he's basically just in front of his teammate there, and I mean, Megumi is the closest one to catching up to the front 3 and a little bit behind. Definitely has his work cut out for him.
Asmodeus hitting a red baker in the ice section though.
Ooh, that's not good for him. Yeah, he is basically
Yeah.
now right next to his own teammate, as Megumi is slowly but surely trying to catch up with them.
Yeah, it looks like Megami is gaining some time. He is taking some tighter lines, and to be honest, with how far ahead they are, he can play a bit roskier and try and cause more damage, and that's exactly what he's going to do. Looks like he's going to take out Ruka with this blue shield.
Never
Some
mind. Roka gets his own blue shield.
Okay.
But we do
Warp-Up's
see a
coming
warp orb
out.
come out. Yeah.
Asmodeus has a he had the god shield, but he threw it to try and bomb Megumi and hits a red baker instead.
Oof. Yeah.
Now Megumi up here in
Unfortunately for
second
Peru.
place with a blue shield, clearing out that shortcut. This is actually still winning positions for Peru, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's top 5, other than second spot. Or no, it's not.
Top 5s don't exist.
1, 3, and 4. Yeah. Well,
5
yeah,
point win there for Peru. Not bad. They need bigger wins though if they want to get back into this war.
Yeah, this is good, but it's not as good as they want. You know, this is still gonna make their lives very difficult if they want to come back.
yeah. I mean, at this point, we've already seen at least, I think, 3 or 4 top 3 finishes and a top 4 finish from USA. So, yeah, Peru's definitely gonna have to pull out a few top 3 and top 4 finishes of their own if they actually want to stand a chance at this point.
Actually, is that their first? No, this is their second first place finish. Team Peru. Shanks had already got one, but this second first place finish of the whole set.
Yeah, Shanks has been playing pretty solid overall. I mean, as we can see, he's gonna be on 69 points now, so
Yep,
I'm not gonna say it.
nice.
yeah, still in third spot overall, just ahead of Megami. He's playing pretty well. He's just gonna need some help from the rest of his team. And like we said earlier, it definitely is still a team effort. They do need to kind of coordinate some of those items, but once again, they just gotta hold on to those spots once they do get ahead. We even seen in this race, Asmodeus ended up losing his first place spot from hitting a beaker or something like that. So there have been a few times where they do get ahead, but they just haven't been able to actually keep those spots.
Yeah, we are. How many tracks do we even have left right now? Like 8, I think. Yeah, 8. So eight tracks to make up basically 10 points every single race. Definitely
This should
not gonna be
an
easy.
interesting one. Any masks?
Megumi gets the squish down on Asmodeus there from the first item set. 'Cause all he's pulled is 2 turbo canisters, which isn't really that bad, but you'll love to see it.
Ray actually decides to go wide just to try and get some of these items, but he just keeps pulling turbo cans.
This is yet another turbo canister for Megumi. Alright, so Dre pulls out a mask though, which is kind of nice for this track. It's a lot of flat ground and allows them to go through the cog section without having to worry about anything.
Yeah, this cog section can be pretty nasty for items. Whenever there starts to be like a few nitros or red beakers, it can be pretty challenging to avoid everything. So it'll be interesting to see if Megami actually puts down that nitro. Maybe just coordinate. Well, actually, Grenberg just got hit, so I'd expect this nitro to go down at one of those cog sections. Actually,
Yeah.
he dropped it down before the blue fire pad.
Dre was able to move his way all the way up into 3rd place, but in doing so, he did take out Bros with his mask, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of questioning those item choices from Megami. Obviously, he does just want to back spam at this point to try and cause damage, but he put those nitros down in spots which aren't really going to do any damage. So obviously, in first place, you do want to back spam, but you know, it's not really going to do much unless you put them down in places that will actually do damage.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of the whole deal with back spamming is knowing where to place it. I mean, that's a given. You know, you can opt to just place things in super tight lines to force people to go wide, but if people were never going to go wide to begin with, then it's obviously not going to make an effect.
Yeah, and we do see Dre in second spot. If I was Megami, I would honestly still continue to back spam. We do see him put that red beaker down behind one of the boxes. Dre is in second spot. He has a blue shield with a blue shield in reserve. So I would feel pretty comfortable about back spamming just to try and get some more spots. And Megami actually loses fire.
Ooh, yeah. And we'll see. I mean, maybe Dre passes him up. He's got a little bit of a gap he's got to make up if he's even going to pass him up.
Yeah,
he actually falls off, so never mind.
Okay. I was gonna say so far ahead, I don't see him losing third spot, but that fall might actually just seal that. He does pull shield though. Shanks does actually have a shield of his own though, so not gonna change anything.
Yep. Dre is actually going to pull off the first place finish here. Like Shanks is gonna pull second place though. So looking to be winning positions for Team USA again, if I'm looking at this correctly. Never mind. What was that with Asmodeus? Asmodeus looks like he was trying to turn around to get a hit onto Bros to allow his team to catch up, but misses. That's the only thing I can imagine what he was trying to do there. Which...
Okay, that... Yeah. That also makes sense as well. Rev does mention Megami was just rolling items for Blue Shield, which does make sense as well.
So yeah, no more winning positions for Team USA. Definitely making things even more difficult for Team Peru. It is starting to get to the point where it is possible they won't even be able to come back mathematically.
If after Gingerbread there's a 95-point difference, the rest of the set doesn't matter. But they could still play it out anyway, of course.
Right, obviously.
Yeah, at this point, like, with USA being so far ahead, they can kind of just play for fun, just play comfortably. So even if they aren't intentionally going for a triple-digit win, I kind of feel like with how they're playing, it's just going to naturally happen anyway. Because they already seem like they are playing comfortably. So I feel like it is just going to naturally happen, and I think we may actually see the first triple-digit win.
Yeah. This is shaping up to be the biggest blowout so far. Which is kind of surprising. Like, it's surprising to me that of all of the bracket stage matches, the biggest blowouts so far have both been in the semi-final stage. The Italy versus Germany match was very kind of one-sided in favor of Team Italy. Or not Germany. Italy versus Finland. The Italy versus Finland match felt very one-sided for Italy.
Yeah, and to be honest, obviously it does happen to everyone. Once that tilt does start, you know, if you do get a bad start and you start to tilt, it is really hard to kind of recover from that. And considering USA did have quite a few, you know, top 3, top 4 finishes at the very start, it is pretty hard to recover from that. So I wouldn't say it's too surprising with how it started. And we of course we've seen it happen to other teams as well. It happened to Finland. You know, they just didn't have a great day, and we've even seen it happen to the likes of Great Britain as well. They didn't really get any huge blowouts, but you know, maybe didn't win some matches they should have. So it can happen to anyone. Unfortunately, it's just happening to Peru at a pretty bad stage.
Yeah, of course. I mean, either which way, if this is how it ends up, this means that Finland versus Peru is what you'll see for the bronze medal match, and then USA versus Italy in the grand finals. Which, if you want me to be completely honest, as much as I want to root for Team USA, I did not expect to see them in the finals.
Yeah, and with how both teams are playing this semi-final, I feel like it could make the final even more interesting as well.
This lobby might be broken.
Why is it always Inferno Island?
It's like always Inferno Island that the lobby breaks. I don't know what it is.
Hopefully we don't wait 20 minutes for it to get fixed like Peru versus Saudi Arabia, but who are we to say? It could happen.
Yeah, I mean, so far it has been pretty smooth. There has been a few hiccups here and there, but it's been pretty smooth. We haven't seen a host change at all, have we?
Nope. Still Megumi as the host, and it's just been him the whole time.
So I'm kind of surprised that the Peru didn't go for that. I mean, like you said, I guess they just wanted to make sure it went smoothly since they are on a bit of a tight schedule. So I guess that's the reasoning behind it. But it makes you wonder, maybe a host change could have changed the tide of things, especially if there did end up being a bit of lag. It definitely is something that could have affected things, but yeah, with them being on a bit of a tight schedule, I guess it just ended up working in USA's favor.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious
should...
actually if they'll play it out, knowing that Peru has to. They're kind of on a tight schedule. Peru wants to get done as soon as possible.
Didn't they say they wanted to be finished by, was it 10 EST or is it CST?
I didn't see anything about it. They are currently waiting for Team Peru to actually back out of the match, but
Asmodeus.
Yeah.
There.
And Shanks. Okay. All right, let's speed run the lobby building.
I want to know why it is always on Inferno though.
Yeah,
like,
no,
all
like,
trapped. It's just
that is weird. Yeah.
game doesn't even want Inferno to exist. Understandable.
True.
This is being really hopeful, but I'd like for Peru to just turn it around and make it close, but I don't see that happening, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. I would love to see it still be a kind of close match at the very least, but just looking at how it's going, it does not seem like that's gonna happen. They need to basically just top 4 every single race until the end.
Yeah, I mean, their players are kind of capable of doing it. We've seen in the past, like, Asmodeus has just had constant first place finishes for his team, so their players are good, but USA just aren't giving them a chance to even come close to it.
Also, what Revi said is kind of what I was thinking actually, is that the HDR in Inferno Island, that's the only other thing I could think of too, is it's one of the only tracks that's very affected by the HDR if people have that setting on. Because it basically makes your whole screen really, really dark. Still waiting on more players to pull up. Currently, we see that is Grenber in the Velo Chopper. The big plays.
Alright, let me find him. I'm getting rid of him from this server. We don't allow the Velo Chopper.
Wow.
Toxic, I know.
Kinda fucked up. Sure. I think we're waiting on one of the Peruvian players to join, because I know Dre is still chilling here, probably waiting for an invite.
All 4 Peru players are in on Megumi's lobby.
Okay. Yeah, I was about to say then they're probably...
Oh, three. Yeah, 4 of them are, yeah.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so they need one of the Peruvian players to leave to have a perfect checkerboard. Smile. Yeah, I don't know if you're around Sotelier. And yeah, I guess you could realistically just kill the lobby. But yeah, that is what they're waiting on. They want the checkerboard, and that requires one of the Peruvian players to leave. Oh. Tempted to just honestly say though, like, do y'all really need a checkerboard right now?
As long as there's 2 in the front and 2 in the back, I personally don't care if they ignore the actual checkered board ruling, but you know.
Alright, they decided to just kill the lobby and rebuild.
To be honest, I'd say the checkerboard is probably in favor more of USA at the moment. They definitely seem like the more organized team. So obviously they're used to practicing with the checkerboard. So changing off of that may disturb their, I guess, tactics. But with how well they're playing, it probably wouldn't matter too much. But they do seem pretty well organized. So like I said, I would say it actually probably favors USA more right now.
Yeah, it totally does. And they broke the checkerboard immediately. Nice. Wow, I love it. They literally killed the lobby so they could try to fix the checkerboard, and they just all the Peruvian players just pile in 3 in a row. Actually, it looks like it worked out. Yeah, I think it works out. Yeah, at least on Megumi's screen it looks fine. Looks like they're gonna start the race regardless.
So I'd expect Inferno Island to be not too bad for Peru. It's kind of similar to Barren Ruins in a way. So Barren Ruins did go. Obviously, it didn't go extremely well for Peru, but it was one of their better results so far. So I'd expect it to be. It's not quite as bad as Crash Cove. Obviously, Crash Cove is obviously shorter. But I'd expect it to be better than what they've had so far.
Yeah. Alright, so here we go.
And I expect Dre to go wide at the start, perhaps? Yep.
See, Megumi causing a little bit of mayhem.
Shanks actually did pull out a mask as well, so he's pulled out a lead at the start. Of course, he's not too far ahead. Actually, both Shanks and Asmodeus are pretty much in the same spot. Obviously, they're both first on their own screens. So if they can once again keep this first and second place lead, we may actually see a pretty solid win from them. And obviously, this is a good front run track as well. It's kind of hard to catch up on this track unless you do get some power items. So if we can see them start to backspam, help out some of their other teammates, might actually see a top 3 possibly if they can get some damage.
See here, Megumi's going to cause some damage. We just see like 4 people running with masks right now. Yeah, Megumi is hanging back, taking down GP Blast, gets the double missile down onto him.
Yeah, we did see some of the Peru players sneaking into the top 4, but Bruce just got smacked out of third spot,
Yeah,
but
by his own
did get
teammate.
replaced by yeah, he did get replaced by Dre.
There's a really big gap between first and second, and then Dre though, so not sure if we're gonna see any potential movement between them. If I had to bet, I would say probably not. You can see everybody kind of being spread out right now. If anything, you might see movement in the back of the pack there with Bros and Gren, basically that whole group.
Yeah, we see Shanks obviously doesn't have a blue shield right now, so he can backspam a little bit. Probably won't cause that much damage considering he is so far ahead. His best bet right now is probably just to try and get some beakers and place them behind boxes, but yeah, I don't expect Shanks to be able to do too much damage. I think it's more so just how well the other Peru players can play at this point.
Yeah. Dre's not, I was about to say, does Dre lose a position over this? But no. So looking
It's a win
like
for
1-2-7-8 for Team Peru.
that's a 3-point win, but it's not what they want.
Yeah, once again, they were able to get a top 2 finish, at least, which is something. It's only the second time, I believe, they've been able to do it. But yeah, like you said, they definitely need to start getting top 3 and top 4 finishes.
Though if Team USA can net themselves a top 4 in Gingerbread, then they've locked Peru out of the rest of the set.
this is correct. Looking at an 80-point lead for Team USA right now.
Yep. That's great.
Alright, getting ready to go into the loading screen now for Gingerbread Joyride. This can technically be the race to lock everybody out. They need to have a 95-point lead?
Yeah, so they need top 4 essentially.
Yep.
Top 4 or top 3 and 5th, but at that point it's basically the same.
Yeah. And it looks like one of the Peruvian players actually disconnected in the loading screen, so...
Nice.
This is...
Back to more lobby building RTA.
We were... Like, I love how the first, like, half of this war was going so smoothly, and now it's just... disconnects after disconnects. I mean, what also confuses me is, like, aren't they all in call together? Like, why is Asmodeus continuing to play? Like,
Yo, he's gonna get a first place finish.
Yeah.
if they're all in call together, why is he not leaving immediately?
He just wants practice, bro.
That's actually
Realistically, I don't know.
that's actually kind of a valid reason, not gonna lie. Because he probably knows that he's not gonna get an invite right away, so he's just practicing.
Then, from what we know, he's been playing Dead by Daylight religiously lately, so practice wouldn't hurt.
I guess, yeah.
This track in particular as well, obviously you want to kind of have your memory refreshed on those jello patterns.
True. This is taking way longer than it should. I'm gonna be real.
Yeah.
One thing I just noticed as well, kind of unfortunate change for Blast coming in. He's had 2 last place finishes, followed by 2 7th place finishes.
Yeah. Not been having a good time.
I gotta say though, I've been incredibly impressed by Shanks throughout this entire series. Like he's actually on 85 points right now, so he's actually second in points overall, only 5 points behind Bruce.
Yeah, if you look at the results of the other Peruvian matches, Shanks has actually been kind of consistently their highest performer.
Yeah.
Except for against the British Isles match. Not sure what happened there, but he was went from first to last. But pretty much every other match, it seems like he's been the top of the Peruvian leaderboard. So, really, honestly, not too much. Like we've already talked a lot about what Peru has to do to come back and how this is looking for them, but okay, Asmodee or Shanks has ended stream even. Interesting.
Yeah, we're about 3/4 of the way through this particular series, and this is currently the semi-finals, with Italy already being in the finals. So the winner of this match will end up playing Italy in the final. Do we have any specific dates for those matches, or are they to be
No.
decided?
Yeah, no, none of the matches outside of what we got are known.
Once this match ends, I'll write up a post and give them a preferred deadline, but I'll be a bit easy going towards it.
Honestly, like, I don't even. If I had the choice of banning tracks against USA, I don't even know which tracks I would have banned, because they didn't really seem to have any bad results on any of the tracks.
No. Yeah, like I mentioned, it's one of those things where like they have some tracks that they're very strong on, but it's really hard to really pick up on like, what are they bad on? Like, there's some tracks that they're stronger than others on, but that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, the one track that really just didn't go their way was Tiger Temple, but I think that's kind of Tiger Temple in a nutshell. And well, if USA did qualify for the finals, I wonder if that might actually be a track that USA would ban, because I believe Italy is pretty good at Tiger Temple as well. At least some of their players are, like Oxide. I know he can be pretty good at Tiger Temple, so that actually might be a track that USA would ban instead. But of course, there are quite a few tracks that you do want to ban against Italy. But yeah, I'm not sure what you would ban against USA. I think it might just be a case of banning tracks that you yourself don't want to play, rather than targeted bans versus USA.
Okay, it looks like we're going into a loading screen now for Gingerbread. I don't see a stream relaunch for Shanks, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do this, and that one, this one. There you go. We're just gonna have a blank spot. Just deal with it. Could hold up. Let's do it. Grab this. How is it? Bam. massive scoreboard and make it basically unreadable. Nice, there you go. All right, a little bit of mayhem here at the start.
Oh, so this is interesting. Dre has pulled a mask, which could cause some serious damage, especially losing blue fire this early. That could set you back pretty far.
Apparently, Bros actually looks like he lost fire, so Megumi's going to take over top spot. Never mind. Asmodeus with the mask pulling through all the way up into first place, and then Dre gets him back with a mask of his own. Megumi's going to take down Asmodeus as well. He's getting comboed now, down into 5th.
Yeah, Megami once again with the rockets onto Asmodeus, so good start from Asmodeus, but unfortunately kind of just getting comboed down. You just pull a super engine, which will actually be pretty helpful for the second lap. And who's actually playing that 3rd place crash? I suppose that's also Peru.
Oh yeah, probably. It looks like Peru is just all running crash right now. So Peru currently holding 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, so actually pretty solid. Yeah, Dre's actually quite a bit ahead though, so I wouldn't be surprised to start to see some item spamming. He did leave a nitro at the end of that shortcut, which is kind of surprising because leaving it at the end of the shortcut kind of gives time to react to it. So, Asmodeus does actually lose fire though, so he's probably gonna drop some spots.
Megumi's going to take out GP Blast there. Goes into the overtake, moving up into 6th place.
Yeah, we see Dre actually does lose his 1st place spot though.
Oh yeah, huh, okay. And he might kind of be screwed here. He's actually gonna have to go all... He's choosing to go all the way back for the blue fire, but honestly, I don't even know if it's worth it at this point.
It's...
Nope,
yeah.
it's definitely not worth it now. Wow, that really sucks for him.
Ooh, yeah, that's tough to see.
So now, Team Peru up in the 1-2. I think that's... wait, who the hell is Motorsport?
They're 5th?
I think it's... Or that's Tana.
Yeah, they're 1, 2, and 5 at least.
I guess that's Gren. Yeah, Gren is the Tana. Bros is the Penta still. Okay. So, winning positions for Team Peru. Like they'll probably seal it off as well. Actually, yeah. You're gonna get 1, 2, 4, 6 is what it looks like for Team Peru right there.
Yeah, and Blast ended up not too far behind Grenber as well, thanks to that shield hit Asmodeus done. But it's a pretty solid finish for Team Peru. We'll pull quite a few points back.
So, it looks like the match is gonna go on and live on for a little bit longer then.
Wonder if we'll end up seeing a who's changed. I doubt it at this point.
Yeah, I doubt it too. Yeah, we are done with the 3rd quarter, going into the last stretch of tracks. Peru not giving up yet. All right, there you go. So 67-point lead for Team USA right now. Getting ready to go into Tiny Temple.
So they may actually prevent the triple-digit victory at this point. I mean, 5 tracks left. Unless Team USA start to pull out some top 2 or top 3 finishes again. It might actually be a pretty similar result as to the Finland and Italy match. I believe that was around a 70-point deficit.
Somewhere around there, yeah. Alrighty.
Yeah, so it looks like it was a 62-point difference between the other semi-final. So it'll be interesting to see if this one will be roughly the same or if USA can keep that fire going.
Yep. All right, so yeah, this is most notably one of the more mayhem centric tracks where whoever gets away at the start really is the person that just gets away. Gets uncontested.
Some mixed positions so far. Peru is in first spot, but USA isn't too far behind, currently second, third, and fourth.
Yep.
But everyone is pretty close. There isn't anyone falling too far behind so far. Ray does actually get a blue shield, which on this
What the fuck? Are you looking at this shit on the fucking screen here with Megumi and Roka?
What the fuck?
What the fuck is this? Jesus Christ.
Mega brains going on.
Actually just too high of IQ for me to really just comprehend.
Oh, and it was RNG manipulation. Megami gets the warp orb.
And it's already juiced up. He probably is gonna have a decent use for it. He's obviously going to try to wait for teammates to get dodges, it seems like, but
yeah. Team USA are first and second at the moment, so probably either wait for blue shields or maybe even just wait for lap 5.
there he goes.
The end of lap 4.
Fires it off right now. Pulls a mask immediately afterwards.
Both Dre and Asmodeus have blue shields, so they won't get affected.
Actually, it looks like he's gonna have to be careful now. He's getting ready to get overlapped by his own teammate, and he's running masks. He doesn't want to hit his own teammate, obviously. Up he goes for the overtake.
Yeah, looks like they are communicating. He's going pretty tight. And he's take 3 passes with these. Asmodeus is actually really close to Bro, so
he gets the overtake. Bro's at the
loses.
fire. Yeah. Megumi does pull a second warp orb though, and he's gonna have to use it kind of soon. Actually, he needs to use it before. Oh wait, who the hell got a clock?
It must have been Team Peru.
Yeah, it's Team Peru, but wow, I would not have expected that from them. Yeah, Megumi is just not having a good time back here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's kind of a bullshit hit on the fire.
Yeah.
So, not a bad finish for Team Peru. I believe it is still a win, a small win for... Yeah, I think it's still a small win for Team USA, but...
Was that 1, 3, 6, 8? Yes.
Like that, yeah.
Yes, that is a win for Team USA. I think not by much though. Let's take a look.
1 point win.
Yeah, what I was thinking.
Now that I think about it, is that the first clock that we've seen from Team Peru?
Maybe actually. Which is kind of surprising if that's the case. A lot of races to go without a clock, especially with them holding down some of the back positions.
Yeah, it's pretty unfortunate look.
Okay, they're getting set up to go into out of time next. 4 races left. Team USA pulls a 9-point win here. They have completely shut out Team Peru.
Yeah, and this is another track where you kind of just want to get ahead. Ideally, get like a super engine, get ahead, and then you can just really drive around the rest of the track, just back spam. Kind of makes it a nightmare for everyone else doing this, especially if you leave some items on the fence jump. Kind of makes it a nightmare for everyone else.
Yeah, super engine's pretty strong on this track as well. Just because of how tight reserves are typically. You see Bros already broke the 100-point barrier as well.
Oh yeah, and both Shanks and Grinberg are not far behind as well.
Yeah.
Actually incredibly close between those three. It would actually be pretty insane if we end up seeing Shanks finishing first overall with how big of a difference the points are between the two teams.
Hmm. Megumi with the early lead, then gets taken down. Takes down Asmodeus with that revenge bomb there. So now we see that is Gren out in front, never mind. Trading places with one of the Peruvian players.
Ray does have a mask, but it's not really the time to use it right now unless he decides to try and take out second spot. I think he's probably just gonna try and wait for that juiced up mask before he uses it. He may actually be able to catch up to second spot if that's the case.
Yeah, he's gonna want to wait for a decent time to use it. Because obviously you want to use it at a point where you're on the ground a lot. And he does opt to use it in the clock section. He pulls a super engine in third place right afterwards, so now he just gets to casually kind of drive the track without having to worry about too much. He fires off one of these juiced up missiles, gets blocked, and he's going to use the second one. Will it land? And it does. So now he's going to pull ahead of Roka. Currently have Grenber and then Dre in our top 2 spots.
Yeah, and that's just gonna make life so much easier for Grenber as well. He's just so far ahead of everyone else right now.
Yeah.
Well, third and fourth spots for Team Peru though. If they do manage to pull out some... Actually, with that being said, Asmodeus just falls off the shortcut. And that's going to put him pretty far behind.
And Megumi is just toying with them back there.
Asmodeus tries to be cheeky. He completely stops with the mask trying to hit Megumi, but yeah, he completely missed.
That is not the first time we've seen some large brain plays, multiple people slowing down to try to hit each other, and it just turns into a game of chicken.
Going into the final lap, both Dre and Grenber are looking pretty comfortable. They should be able to finish out these top 3 spots unless we see something like a clock come out?
No, we actually see Drake gets taken down there by what appeared to be a blue shield.
Did he got sniped by that blue shield? That was actually a nuts shot. Cause he looked back and he seen third spot with the blue shield, so he must have got sniped.
Yeah, I mean, it's either that or it was just a lag hit from them being closer than they appeared.
Yeah.
Will he be able to lock in this third spot? Oh, he's getting... Okay. Yeah, he locks in the fourth spot. Megumi almost made him lose another position.
Yeah. And I believe that should seal the deal for Team USA. That should be the victory for them.
Look here. Yep. Everybody do be saying GG. Take a look at the scores.
Once again, Shanks finishing in second as well, so he's definitely trying to get that first place finish.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see if Peru decides to finish it out. Only 3 tracks left, so they might, but of course they were on a tight schedule. If they decide to finish it out, I wonder if we'll see either Shanks finishing first overall. He's only 1 point behind Grenber, and of course it'll be interesting to see if Team USA can get that triple-digit victory, but they'd have to get some pretty big wins if they wanted to do that.
Getting ready to go into Coco Park. They aren't, they've decided they don't want to just, quit out right now, but only a few races left, so suppose they want to try to make it look as close as possible.
Yeah, and well, I think we all know how much Megami loves Coco Park, so
Yeah.
I don't think this will go too well for Peru.
Yeah, I expect to see this be a relatively strong finish for Team USA on this track as well.
Yeah, but you never know. There might be some sneaky Romu strats at the start of Coco Park. Yeah, I mean, it will be an interesting final between Italy and USA. Like, Italy in their semi-final versus Finland just looked so strong, and once again in this as well, like, USA have just looked so strong versus Peru.
I wonder if this lobby's broken again. It looks like it is. This is taking
We're so close.
I just want it to be over with, Ben.
I do kind of want to see Shanks finish first, though, to be honest.
I mean, like I'm at least interested to see the point difference at the end if we play a full 20 tracks, but damn.
If we could somehow see, like, I don't know if it's mathematically possible at this point, but if we could see USA finish 100 points ahead, but also see Shanks finishing first, that would just be absolutely insane. I don't know if they can at this point.
I think it's possible, but I'm not sure.
It'd basically have to be Shanks finishing first and the rest of his team finishing bottom 3.
It'd be. Oh, let me look here. If Shanks, if it's 1, then 6, 7, 8, then that's 1, 3, 6, 16 points for Peru. Meaning, holy shit! Why is my brain off right now?
Yeah, it's almost 3. Actually, it is 3 a.m. here. My brain isn't turned on.
That'd be a 23 to 16, 4, 7. So yeah, no, that's not possible. They would team. I mean, unless Dre is the one taking the first place finishes or something. There's probably some mathematical way to make it happen, but it'd be some like fucking backbreaking amount of it.
Yeah.
The Peruvian players need to leave right now because they broke the fuck. Look at this. Look at this beautiful checkerboard. They're just willingly giving up all front row positions. The USA players are waiting for them to drop out and jump in to fill those spots in the front, and they're just not leaving.
I can't really say anything bad about any of the US players as well. Like, obviously, Dre is a bit lower in the points, but that's mostly just because he has been playing that kind of support role. Obviously, at the start of the tracks, he has been going wide, trying to roll those items. Unfortunately, he has been getting a lot of turbo items at the start, but as you can see, he has had his first place finish as well. So he has been performing, even with that support role.
They're trying to rebuild the lobby again. Attempt number 2. Don't have much to say at this point. I mean, basically said it already. I just want this match to be over. It feels like it's just getting drug on way longer than it needs to.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, like, these last few tracks are good tracks as well. I mean, Coco Park, I mean, it's whatever, but Tiny Arena and Cortex Castle are pretty good tracks whenever it comes to wars, particularly Tiny Arena. It's always interesting to watch.
I'm not gonna lie, I think the exact opposite. I think Tiny Arena is really fucking boring in wars.
I think it's fun to play, at least in wars.
I think it's fun to play. I like the track, but I think it's boring as shit when it comes to 4v4, because it's just person gets in front, never loses their top spot because they just put... it's just back spam like 24/7 on blind corners.
Yeah, it's pretty hard for whenever someone does gain a lead, it's pretty hard for them to lose it. But the rest of it ends up being pretty much chaos. Like from 4th place down to last, it's just everyone just murdering each other pretty much.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, your middle of the pack people definitely get to have a more interesting race for sure. But I feel kind of bad for the people that are like in second or third because they don't get to do really anything. All they get to do is fall further and further behind every single race, or every single lap because they can't risk going tight because there's going to be a blind item there possibly.
Yeah, that is the one bad thing. Obviously, a lot of turns, so you can't even have fun doing time trial lines. You gotta go wide.
This lobby might be broken too.
I think we're fine.
I'm gonna fucking lose it, dude.
Racing game of the year.
Racing game of 2019. Definitely not for its netcode. So how's your weekend going, Caro? Got any interesting stuff? I heard you were playing Among Us earlier. How did that go?
Just a few friendships lost. It was my birthday this weekend, so unfortunately becoming more of a boomer.
Very cool, very cool. So you spent your birthday playing Among Us?
Nah, my birthday was on Thursday, and then I had a party on Friday. So, kind of just chilled with the family this time. Usually I'd invite a bunch of friends around, but with everything that's going on, I kind of just kept it to a smaller group this time.
Oh shit, we have the Peruvian captain in chat finally.
Cuckoo Park is still not done.
Yeah, we're just looking here at this point, and we're just observing.
Well, at least we got him pretty quickly and started up quickly as well.
Yeah, we're in a loading screen now. Hopefully no false start this time.
Free us from this hell.
Please.
Man.
It's like when you're playing Among Us and you're waiting for that one person to finish all their tasks while everyone else is just
at xgonzo2. Hey Gumbo, did you know you can do tasks while you're dead? Bro, what the fuck? That's crazy.
I'm just waiting for the disappointment.
Oh shit!
Oh, finally!
Gaming!
Fuck yeah.
Megumi getting the early Sacred Fire as well.
Ray does actually turn around. He's got that one.
But he doesn't get a good item.
Yeah,
He just gets a turbo can.
Wait, but he gets the
And
early Sacred Fire. Come on, dude.
Yeah, to hit Braz, who's in 7th.
Don't question the strategy. Megumi's using these big TT strats already, though. There's the warp board, by the way.
Shoot it, you coward. Who cares? We're in for a bloodbath.
It is true, though. I feel like Coco Park has actually become one of the more interesting tracks in Wars because between Pulsewood, the early Sacred Fire strat, and then like that's what the front runners can use, and then you also have the Tahind strats, as we've seen. Feel like it's made things a lot more interesting in terms of gameplay strategy.
And Asmodee still isn't too far behind Megami. If he actually gets a missile, he might be a little bit too far behind, but he might be able to get a long-range missile snake.
Asmodeus making the smart move there and not going for the shortcut as Megami traps it with King Beaker. Going to try to go for this back bomb, does not land.
Dre pulls another warp orb, and we are approaching the final lap, so okay.
Just hasn't been able to use it yet.
Yeah, USA is first and third at the moment. Dre just get taken out, so he doesn't have that juiced up warp orb anymore.
Going for these fast ending strat. It's a green beaker, doesn't matter. Taking first place, warp orb gets shot out. Will wouldn't be able to pull some last minute position. Down GP blast, but is that a different warp orb or was that the same one?
It was
Okay.
I think it was the same one.
Not
It
sure.
must have like skipped and done another lap.
All those positions just coming up all at once, but that's the win for Team USA.
Yeah, managed to grab first, third, and fifth.
Alrighty, here. Get the scores updated. We have officially been freed from the hell that is Coco Park.
Can't wait for it to happen on Tiny Arena.
Please.
Fortunately, Shanks finished 7th, so probably won't be seeing him finish first, but we may still see the triple-digit one.
Now for 5 minutes of walk away from your monitor and nothing happens. Fun.
Yep. What are you doing? You have the HD version of that emote.
That is the HD version. What do you
Fuck you.
mean? Hit him with the good old Robbie W.
Ah, a classic.
I don't know.
Dorime.
God, it feels so long ago since that was relevant.
Yeah.
It was.
What the fuck?
Going off of Peru's performance, I don't think they would hold out well against Finland for the bronze medal match.
Yeah, especially with how well we know Finland can play. Especially, like, I feel like they might just get murdered by Sammy.
Yeah.
Although there's going to be a connection issue between Finland and Peru, so that'll be something to look forward to.
So I'm not sure what's going on with Peru now. They're missing a player now. Shanks
Oh,
says...
did they reach the time limit? I think it was Shanks who had the...
Feel like shit. Just kind of wish this match would get Mercy killed. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Okay, we're just starting with a hard AI, I think. Or maybe not. Alright, Tiny Arena Gaming. Real gaming hours.
They put in a hard AI? I couldn't see.
I didn't see Megumi pull up the screen to add an AI in. It does not look like they put one in.
No, it just looks like 7 players. Well, there goes Shank's possible first place finish overall because of this.
Unfortunate.
They'll still finish first for Team Peru at this point. Yeah, like regardless of, even if Asmodeus finishes first on both tracks, like Shank still finishes first overall.
Good positions at the moment for Team Peru, though, even though they're a man down.
Yeah, currently 1, 2, 3, so it's the best that they can even do.
Shanks was really holding him back this entire time.
Truly, yes.
What we see back-to-back clocks just to rub salt in the winds.
Not sure.
Yeah, they're actually getting quite a bit of a lead so far.
Fucking Dre like pushed Gren into the ground here.
Oh, hell yeah.
Team Peru's still up in the top 3.
Yeah, like you mentioned earlier, whenever you do get ahead on this track, it kind of is pretty hard to catch up unless, of course, you end up lapping and getting hit by your own items that you placed on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not looking likely that they'll catch up.
Ooh, Dre hitting the red beaker.
Dre getting comboed by his own teammate here. I think Team USA is basically just you know, really
Free for all.
really doing it big right now. Yeah.
It is a 4v3, but in favor of Team Peru.
Yeah.
Someone has changed sides.
One of the Peru players gets taken out though, from what I saw on the minimap. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bros is now up into 3rd place. Probably not really a chance of catching up to 2nd and 3rd, but, you know. Dre takes down GP Blast into the mud as well. That's a very bad spot to end up getting hit.
Yeah, Asmodeus is a big chillin' at this point. He doesn't have a blue shield though, so if a power item is rolled, he would get hit by it, but honestly, he has such a big lead at this point, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I don't really foresee any movement here. Maybe... I don't know. I was gonna say maybe GP Blast and Megumi, which actually literally just happened, so there you go. Ooh, and Megumi gets nailed with that back bomb from GP Blast.
That's a win for Peru. Down a man though. That's impressive.
Beautiful. Okay, going into the last race. Oh. 74-point gap, and now it looks as though the dream is dead for the big 100-point difference. And actually, they have mercy killed the match. With one
Thank
race left.
God.
They decided to mercy kill it with one race left.
God bless.
I see.
All I can say is it should have happened at Coco Park.
I mean, I agree, but yeah, this was a little bit of a mess. This one, yeah. Got no words left for this shit. Fucking, it's just a mess.
God, that's really bad.
All right, well, that means we have the finals, which will be USA versus Italy, and then the bronze medal match is going to be between Peru and Team Finland. Not sure when that will be, and that will most likely be within the next probably like week and a half or so at some point. Sure to keep yourselves posted in the World Cup schedule channel and all of the normal stuff in the competitive hub Discord. That it do be 10:30 at night here in NA, and even later for people in the EU. Hope Finland is patient. Me too.
About to be big sleeping.
Big sleep. That being said, yeah, we about to hit that big sleep as well. Thank you guys for watching. I hope to see you guys next time. Thank you, Caro and Faye, for joining. It's nice having you guys here. And I will see you guys next time.